Mind Gap Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mind Gap Podcast. I'm Doug.
I'm Justin. And Doug, if heaven exists, when you get to the pearly gates, what endless treasure do you hope is on the other side?
It's got to be food-based, I think.
Right?
I mean, that's what I go to.
Or would it be video games for you? Like just like a nonstop, an endless Steam library?
No. I want to
You had your
eat
fill in this lifetime?
I want to go and be a glutton without the repercussions. That's my heaven.
Oh, I see what's going on here. All right, I'm into it.
I want to be a Doug buffet of like chips and French onion dip, just a big old bowl of that. I want it to be,
but like one where no matter how many chips you dip in there, it just keeps refilling itself. Like it's a never ending.
A vat of mac and cheese.
It's Doug Mac though.
Oh yeah, Doug Mac. With like
the cook up there's got to figure out. Yeah.
You know. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, I want some like, oh geez, like just like pulled pork with a ton of barbecue sauce, just excess amounts of barbecue sauce. I want just rows and rows of focaccia that I can just, and I want a whole section just dedicated to sweets,
Okay.
just like ice creams and everything. It's basically what I want is there to be an endless buffet.
I was going to say, you just described walking into a Ryan Steakhouse.
But this is better quality
Ponderosa,
food. Yeah. This is way better quality food.
Sure.
That I can eat. Well, it's funny. It's like Doug's Heaven is a Ryan Steakhouse.
Is a Ryan Steakhouse. There's Doug, the title for the episode.
You can go do that. You can just go do that. I'm like, yeah, but I want better quality and I don't want to die from it,
I want no repercussions ever.
Oh yeah. And I just want to have a mug that just fills up with soda. Just endless amounts of soda. And I just drink it down.
Cherry Coke Zero, right?
Cherry Coke Zero. I'll take it. And I just want it to change. I'll be like, you know what? Put some Mountain Dew in there this time.
This one. Yeah. I put some Mountain Dew in there because I don't have to worry anymore.
Because I don't care anymore. Just put it in there and let me sip the piss of Gaia, Gaia's piss,
That's so yours. Yeah. So it's all the decadent food that you can't eat now, or that you don't allow yourself
to eat
I
now.
Moderate. Not one thing, right? Yeah. That you moderate.
Which is, I'm sure that's what God wants in heaven, is for you to basically lean into one of the big deadly sins. I'm like, I want to be a glutton. Yeah. And he's like,
point.
If you get in here, I guess we can give you one. What sin do you want? I'm like, gluttony, give it here.
Baby.
Woo!
But if you had to choose one of those things to be a glutton, like what if they really tighten things up there? They're like, look, our EBITDA, didn't pan out like we thought last year. Like, belief
the delta
is down
on what it cost, actually, the magic that we have to squeeze out to make this happen.
We can only give you one thing. So what food item would it be?
It would have to be something sweet, I think.
So you would lean over to the sweet side because
I would.
Originally listed a lot of savory stuff.
I think I'd lean over to sweets because at the core, I love sweet stuff.
You're a sweet guy. All right,
I'm a sweet tooth boy. It would probably be something that's like, I don't know, maybe like what's something that I really love. I mean, recently, I don't know.
It changes for you is the hard part. Because when you find a new recipe, that becomes your new obsession.
It ebbs and flows, Like, I mean, I love a good cake, I love a good pie. I love good cookies.
Those lemon cookies, dude.
Oh, baby.
Those lemon cookies. Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Boy.
They were good. I made some soft glazed pumpkin cookies recently, and they were, a lot of other people didn't like pumpkin. I'm like, fuck you then.
These are mine.
These are mine. Yeah, I think, you know what? There was also these,
there was something very erotic, by the way, you saying soft glazed pumpkin cookies.
Glazed. Well, by the way, they look like someone glazed them and not Yeah. The first time I made them, I'm like, I have to stream these better next time so they don't look like someone just was like, and I'm done on these cookies. You know?
And I'm done.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Just not like
I'm gonna come.
cookies, I last year I made these peppermint chocolate. They were white chocolate chip peppermint cookies, and I fucking devoured those. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go with those. I'm looking forward to making those again.
Oh,
This
okay.
holiday
All right.
season.
White chocolate chip peppermint cookies.
Oh, they were like, you have peppermint.
I dig it.
You beat up, you rough up some peppermint like you're a bookie,
Right?
beating up
Like it
someone
owes
who
you
hasn't
money.
paid,
Yeah.
who owes you for the vig, and you spread those in with some white chocolate chips, and you bake it with the dough, and it is, oh man, it is refreshing and delicious, and I fucking love it. It's so good.
Oh yeah. Now let me ask you this too. Another qualifier: is it all Doug's recipes up there?
Doesn't have to be
Like, because we
but-
talk about the mac and cheese, the focaccia. Like,
Yeah.
are these all like your versions of it, or are these just like the best of the best that you could get? Doesn't matter if it's your specific version.
I like to think that I could request, what
Yeah.
version, and it's like if
I
make it great.
We'll give you that. Yeah.
But I'd say, yeah, hey, this is John Cannell from Preppy Kitchen's recipe. I'll take his. He made it. That's fine. I'm sure he makes it better than me, so I'll go with that. Yeah. I'll take his cookies. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I feel like it would have to be. It would definitely be food based for me as well.
Mhm. You're
it
like
would
just
have
a
to
big
be-
old butt. I just want a butt, an endless butt. That's on
I
the
just
other
want
side
a
of this
butt.
game. I just want a big old butt.
Wait, what do you mean endless butt? How does you mean like wide or deep? What are we talking about here? Like I just want you want to crawl
gotta
through
pick.
it like
It's up to you,
like a
buddy. You
fun
got to
tunnel?
pick.
Yeah.
It's
Put
your
the
heaven.
dimensions. You
It's your
put
heaven.
the dimensions on the requisition form.
That's right. You choose, man.
Make sure you don't mess up width versus depth.
You're like, and I don't want to have a body or legs. I just want one amorphous butt that I can
Just a
play
big
with.
old floating butt.
A big old floating butt. And I get to do whatever I want to this butt. No questions
No judgment.
asked.
I made it in. No judgment.
I'm in.
I'm
You can't
in.
take me out. Like, I don't think that's how it works.
Would that be gluttony or lust? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I'd be lust. Well, it depends on what you're doing.
That's what, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because if you're doing a lot
I
of eating, then I guess that's gluttony.
I would say it's a toss up for me between like endless, and I feel like this answer like really good wine.
Okay.
Like endless amazing wine, and you don't like you get buzzed, but you don't get like hammered drunk because
Yeah, I got blackout drunk in heaven. The Justice
Exactly,
Randall
yeah.
story.
or if you do that, you don't make an ass yourself, and the next day you wake up and you're just fine, you
Yeah.
know, presuming that you sleep.
Yeah, right.
You could just like snap your fingers and it's reset, and you're like, cool, let's go again. And I feel like that'd be in line because they're always drinking, they're always sitting around drinking out of goblets. So I feel like the water into wine thing that tracks. I think they got that up there. It'd be easy to make happen.
Yeah.
That said, maybe bacon cheeseburgers would be the other thing.
There you go. Any particular kind? You talking like the Wendy's Baconator?
No, like a real, like a
No, a
pub-
real
like a
slam of
pub
meat.
burger, like a big old bacon cheese, not a fast food. No, thank you. Ooh,
Like,
you
I'm
know
sorry,
what?
we're all out of that good stuff. You can choose either Burger King or Wendy's.
In and out. I'll
No,
take
we're all out of In and Out.
And
It's Burger
we're back
King
to
or
the
Wendy's.
We're back to the butt again.
So like, all right, give me the butt.
Give me the butt. First choice. It was my first choice. I shouldn't have second guessed myself.
That'd be funny. Like, what do you want? You're like, I want endless salad and breadsticks from Olive Garden. Like, sir,
You
sure?
sure?
Yes,
You sure?
that's what I want. You're like,
Absolutely.
that's what you want on the other side of here. Like, if I make it through, that's my request, and I'm
And
sticking
don't
to
be
it.
cheap on that cheese either. I want to see
Yeah.
you grinding that thing and that wheel,
that's
that
right.
circular grinder.
And I'll say stop, and I won't feel guilty.
I'll say when.
I'll say when. So I hope you have a lot of
Jesus.
magical cheeses. It's like, wow, this guy just loves Olive Garden.
He thought about this. He came in locked and ready to go with the Olive Garden request.
Yeah. God, that would be so fun. We should do a sketch that's about like all the stupid things people request when they come through the gates. They're like, I made it. And like, all right, what would you like? You know what I want? A butt.
No, but you can have something that's endless. So anything you want that's endless.
An endless butt. That's what I want. They're like, what do you mean by
I'm sorry,
it's-
I don't think you understand the concept of what we're saying. You can have something that just never ends.
It's like that sketch of like real life Google as a real person, and people walk into his office and like ask him for things, and he's like, "What?" It's like same thing. He's like, "I want a butt." He's like, "Excuse me?
Excuse me?
This is an endless thing." He goes, "Yeah." And he's like, "What do you mean by that?"
Okay, can you specify a little
Cut
bit
to
more
someone
about
else.
what you mean?
You know, he's like, "What?"
And you
I want a
got to
butt.
keep cutting back to this guy still trying to explain what he wants.
Right. And they just feel like once they pass the threshold, they're like they're in. You know, they made
Right,
it in.
exactly.
And then that's when those like they get one DV. They're like, all right, now that I'm in here, you know.
We give you one pass.
Yeah.
You're going to regret that.
I want one sand bucket filled to the brim with peanut butter, chunky. Like, what?
Why?
And the peanut butter never runs out.
No
The way
matter
he says
what.
it, you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It never loses its shape. I don't like how you said
It never
that.
loses. I want an indention in it, but not
Right.
too deep, you know?
It
I
needs
want-
to be. It needs to be not melted and not too firm, not
That's
frozen.
right. You
Like
better
it needs
not
to be
be
that
frozen.
right consistency.
And the chunks, you know, I want a little bit ribbed in there, you know, and the indention, you know. So just saying,
Make sure all the peanuts are pointing inward.
I want equal amount of peanuts throughout all of the peanut butter. All right. I don't want to find clusters here and there. I want it to be even.
Okay, so I'm
where
gonna
do
have you go right over here with the food fuckers.
Whoa. Who said I'm fucking the food? He's like, I know. I've been here long enough. I know what this means.
Just go right over in this group.
We got another one.
We got another one.
Claire, you're up. It's like, I was an artist, and this is what I'm doing.
I wasn't. That's the thing. You go up there. You know that really good chocolatier on
Oh, yeah.
Instagram. Yeah, like he's up there going, "My talents are wasted on this. What am I
He's sitting there
doing?"
being like, I built a bike, a
built
functional
a bike.
motorbike out of
It
chocolate.
looked like a real hammer.
He's like, yeah, go build this guy a bucket of peanut butter to his
It was-
specifications.
I can make chocolate look like wood grain. What am I doing?
I can fashion an electrical current through chocolate and it'll still be safe and edible. And you want me to do this? Yeah, he wants a butt.
I got up here because I built houses for Habitat for Humanity out of chocolate.
And they were terrible.
They were
Fuck
structural.
you. Fuck you. They made people happy. Amazing.
Yeah,
Well, let us
that
know.
deserves a double cough right there.
That's right. Let us know what you would want to see on the other side of those pearly gates. Your endless treasure. What would it be? Would it be food? Would it be flesh? Would it be something more esoteric?
Else?
Would it be elves?
Would it be something else? No, else, not elves. Elves.
Would it be elves?
All right, you go stand in that group of people.
Wait, we're talking about like Santa elves? Are we talking like Lord of the Rings? Like, what are we doing here? You know,
Like lawn gnomes? What do you want here?
I got ideas. What do you
I've
have?
got
Well, we've got all. Go talk to Jim. Jim is
Bring
the
me-
elf guy.
Bring me the chocolatier.
I have an idea.
I have ideas.
We'll make your dreams come true. Well, let us know what you'd like to see. And in those comments down below at youtube.com/mindgappodcast. Hit the like and subscribe while you're there. We're dangerously close to 500 subs. Dangerously close.
We're right on the line.
We're getting there. Help us push ourselves over the line. That'd be a delight. We'd appreciate you. And while you're there, check out the links in the description to links to our Discord, to our Patreon, and to our merch at redbubble.com and all that good stuff. So, booyah.
Booyah, Doug.
Hmm.
Belated happy Thanksgiving to you.
Hey, happy turkey fucking day to you too, buddy.
You know, I hope everyone, we were off last week, but I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday and got to spend some time with family and relax a little bit. And I hope it was good.
Hey,
we had
gang, come in here.
awesome,
Come in here. How bad is
Yeah.
your family? How is it? Was it pretty bad?
Oh.
Is your family bad, gang? Let us know. We'll be your ears.
Join the Discord. Your family's not on that Discord.
Yeah.
Join the Discord. Talk about your family.
Talk about your family.
Lay it all out.
Lay it all out.
Lay it
My family
all
still
out.
hasn't spoken to me in over 2 years. So happy anniversary to me. Woo woo.
I will
Yeah.
say, so I was initially a little worried about staying in Grand Rapids. First, usually we go to the Quad Cities. A couple years we've gone to Beth's family. This year we just did Beth and I, we cooked. I was so wildly pleased with how everything turned out. Like dinner turned out fantastic. We went and saw Wicked that night. We went to like local farmers market the next day. Went to a tree lighting in East Grand Rapids. Like as the snow was falling down and they were giving out free hot chocolate. They had reindeer there to pet. It was like just it was such a like an idyllic weekend. I gotta say, I had a good time. I was very pleasantly
none of that
pleased.
stuff Thanksgiving. That's all Christmas bullshit.
Well, yeah, Thanksgiving ended and then Christmas started. That's how it goes.
And then Christmas began.
The 27th, the 28th is just Christmas starts. That's what
Isn't that kind of
goes.
shitty that Thanksgiving doesn't even get its own thing? It
Doesn't even get to like wind down. It's just like, did you eat Thanksgiving? Great. Merry Christmas.
Even then, it's like like Christmas starts bleeding in like November 1st. You know, like people start putting their shit up. You know,
Earlier.
I know, but like
I saw Halloween and Christmas stuff side by side
too.
in the fucking stores. Like
I did too, and I saw a
unreasonable.
dude that before Halloween had like a Christmas penguin thing out in his front lawn. I'm like, oh, God
Unreasonable.
damn, man, that's pretty
Yeah.
early.
It's the people who in July, they're like, only 26 more Sundays until whatever. And I'm just like, go fuck yourself. Like it's too early.
Yeah.
It's just stop it. Stop it right now.
I'm
I'm fine with Christmas starting around Thanksgiving. That's fine. If you're pushing it up prior to Halloween, you go get fucked.
Is there anything in your life, in any facet of your life, that makes you go that crazy and that excited for something? I'm talking like, Taylor Swift fan level thing, where,
Jeez.
I've been a fan of bands and things like that, but I don't think I've ever gone that hardcore for anything.
I don't think, not for a band for sure. I've got bands that I was really stoked to see, but not like losing my goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Like just out of it and like out of body experience excited. I don't think, and in a way it kind of bums me out because I feel like everyone, like the people who have the things that get them that excited, I'm genuinely jealous of those people. Like to have
I'm
that
disturbed
level
by them.
See,
because
I
don't
have
understand
that level
that.
of well, right, but to have I fear what I don't understand.
I do.
Yeah, but to have that
'Cause
level
you'll
of
always fear
excitement
what you
over
don't understand.
anything, to have that level of excitement over anything, like is just pure. You're experiencing pure joy in life about something, and I look at that and I'm like, man, that's bleak. That I never have. I've never had that as an adult. I've never had that.
Part of me looks at that and goes,
Maybe as a kid, but
man, that's mental illness. Like I don't.
well,
I can't relate to it. I was like,
as
I don't know, man.
jovial of a person as you are also a wild pessimist.
I know, because I'm just sitting there being like, to be that excited, like for someone to be like, I love Christmas, like I'm like, okay, like
They get Buddy the Elf level excited.
Right. And I'm like, as an adult too, I'm like, all right, I mean, it's fine. It's okay. But they're like, no, it's great. Here's what we're going to do for the kids. We're going to set up a cam inside so they can see Santa come in, and we're going to have someone come in with a white glove and turn off the camera. So it looks like, and then we're going to have my uncle who actually, like, we call him and we're like, Santa's calling and he's going to pretend to be Santa. And then we're going to do this whole thing.
We're going to film
tradition.
the elf moving around the house.
We're going to have the Christmas pickle, we'll hide it somewhere. And we get out the decorations and we do this and we send out Christmas cards. Can we talk about Christmas cards for a second?
Please, Doug, let's talk about Christmas cards.
I got a Christmas card from an acquaintance, I guess I would call them.
Okay. Wasn't us. We didn't do one this year. We did one last year.
I would say you're just above acquaintance. But it's from a family that, Natalie goes to school with her daughter and everything like that. And like when we see them, we say hello, we make some polite chit chat, but I don't know them that well. And they hand delivered this to our house.
Really?
And I was like, and I looked at it and I go, I looked at Jill. I'm like, what are we supposed to do with this? Like, that's always my thing.
Let me clarify. Did they hand it to you or did they put it in your mailbox?
Put it in a mailbox.
Okay, because I love the idea that they handed it to you and you turned to Jill with them still there and go, what do we do with this?
Yeah. But I opened it up and I'm like, and it's like expensive paper.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
thick
thing
cardstock.
Yeah. It was like really like, Patrick Bates would have been, pretty jealous over the cardstock on this. And I just looked at it and then I immediately just put it in the recycling. I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know you that well. Like, what am I supposed to do? Hang this up? Like, we're not best friends.
I know.
You know?
I know.
And I looked at Jill. I go, can we just say it's 2024? Can we just stop doing this? Like,
I just had this conversation with my mom over this weekend, and look, if you're listening, Mom, you probably shouldn't be, but if you're listening, it's all right. I'm going to tell this tale out of school here. So
hey, if you're listening, this one's for you.
What are you doing, step bro?
That's for you.
Good God. So it's going to disturb me if she gets the reference. I'm going to be
like, I know what that is
about life.
Yeah, right.
No, so we were talking, I don't know how we got in the topic. She's cleaning out a lot of stuff in the house, just kind of, you collect stuff
Pretty
over
much
the years.
shit and giving it to you.
Exactly. And I'm throwing it right away.
And you're putting it in the recycling.
And I'm putting it right in the recycling. But we got onto Christmas cards. She showed me the ones that she was going to send out. And then she asked,
you're like, Mom, spoiler.
What are you doing? Oh no, this is what you did this year. Oh my God. But she asked me, what do you guys do with them? And I said, well, in past years, that we get.
Don't ask, Mom.
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to. Okay.
Mm-mm.
He said in past years, we would like tape them up on like a certain wall or whatever, lay them on the table and yada, yada, yada. I said, but usually I said, I'm not going to lie. I'm okay with looking at it going, oh, looked like they had a good year. And then throw and just right away. Any of them. Because most of the pictures that are on these cards, I've seen on Instagram. I've seen it for these people. They posted them already. This isn't new, And they're like, oh, this has been a busy year. And here's all the things that we did. And I'm like, right. I followed every one of these things that you guys did on Instagram. I don't need a summary.
That's such an older generation thing to do. My mom used to make me help her write out the family newsletter to send out to people. And I was like, nobody, you can't tell me anyone gives a shit about this. But again, that was before social media.
Absolutely, yeah. I can. I'm not gonna lie. I can go over here and I can pull out a folder. The last time they were in town, she brought some stuff up, and it is every family Christmas card newsletter that we sent out. There's a copy of it, and if you want, I can regale you with all of them. Doug, give me a year, I'll go get it. No. But the point, right. That's riveting
only.
Podcast.
That's our Patreon only. Subscribe.
You want to hear Justin read his old Christmas? Subscribe to Patreon. That's the $15 tier.
And each one he reads, he removes a piece of clothing.
Subscribe to our OnlyFans. No, but
sexy Christmas letter reading with Justin.
He'll wear a Santa hat, and that's it. So she was asking, and I said, yeah. I said, so what? I said, but then we just throw them out. She goes, oh, and I was like, have you been saving? And she's like, she goes, and I said, well, how? And every year. She's like, well, every year I take all the Christmas cards, put them in a Ziploc bag and label the year. And I said, from everyone that you get, everyone that she gets. And she goes, would it make more sense to label them by year or by family? And I'm like, it makes more sense to throw them away.
Make more sense not to keep them.
To not save it. It's just, and
because my question to her would be like, how often do you go back and look at them?
Well, and that's what I said. Joking aside, I was like, well, let's look on an honest question. Have you ever gone back and been I need to reference what this family was doing in 2009? Because I don't think, and I'm like, well, then I genuinely don't know. So there is something with it, and I do think it is something from a bygone era, a generation above us, that there's this thing to preserving the memories. And I don't know what that is, but I'm going to use the word brainwashed to think that way when I was younger. And then as I moved into adulthood, I'm like, oh, I don't need to do this. I am collecting a wild amount of 23. I was like, I have so much stuff. Every time I move apartments, I've got way too much stuff that I never look at. What am I doing? And as I got older, I'm like, I just don't need to I don't find the need to collect that stuff anymore. But it is interesting just how a generation above us feels the need to do that.
Here's the thing. We haven't changed. It's just a different format. Now people record everything on their phones. Everyone's going to video those moments.
That is a solid.
They video the moments and then never watch them, but they still capture those moments in a different way. And this is just the way that I look at it as hey, we're already doing this. You don't need to send me a Christmas card because I already know. Right. I've seen, like you said, I've seen the photos, or also I can just, email me
Right.
Whatever. Design something and email it. I don't need you to actually physically send me something because, hey, by the way, I want to back up. It's a kind gesture. I understand.
I was gonna say
that.
there's a sliver in my Grinch heart that is like every time one comes in, I'm like, oh, Christmas. Like it gives me a little warm tingle. But then I'm like, but I don't want to just like have this.
I get it, and I'm like, who's this from? Because if this is someone I don't know well, I'm like, why did you waste your time and your money to send this to us? Like,
Right.
It's because I'm just like, we're not that
We
close.
don't receive a lot from like random families. Like, do you just get people like you talking like,
surprised.
This, like Natalie
You'd be
friends?
surprised.
Like, really?
You know, the Sandersons don't fucking know who they are, but God damn it, you know.
But
they
you got
send
one
us a
from
Christmas
them.
card. Yeah.
All
every
right.
year. Yeah.
God bless
Happy
you,
for them.
Sandersons.
They live in Arizona, just outside of Tucson. I mean,
Is it addressed to you guys, or is it like the previous owners of the house?
it just says the Cochrans.
don't
I'm
know
like, I don't know who these fucking people are, but okay.
You don't know. You genuinely don't know who they are,
know.
and they send you one every year.
I'm just going to put
That's
this in
amazing.
recycling. I'm like, well, good for you guys. Nice job. You know,
I want to look. This is a thread I want to tug on now.
good job. You got a hot tub. I don't think you need it in Arizona, but congrats. You know, there you go. You know, like just don't buy a boat. All right.
Right.
Where are you going to drive it in the desert? You fucking crazy.
Drive it around your jacuzzi? No.
Yeah. No, I just like it is a kind gesture to be like, here you go. But it just feels so outdated to me that I get them and I'm like, thank you. I'm going to put this. It's like when someone gives you a card for anything, right? Like there's this wonderful bit of like the guy being like, what do I do with this? I don't know what to do. They're like, do I throw it? Like, why are you throwing it away? He's like, I don't know what to do with it. Do I hang on to it? What do I do?
What was
I bought that
from?
for you. I'm like, okay, should I put it up? And it's like, no. Well, what do I do with it? You know, it's like, I don't know. It's a weird thing.
I told Beth, like Beth and I had said, you do not need to get me a card hard stop for anything. Anniversary, birthday, Christmas, whatever, like Arbor Day. Don't get me a card. It's fine.
That's
like
another
I
thing,
do
man.
not want. Don't spend $5 on a card.
Write something
like, just-
on a piece of paper and slap it on
Yes.
there, and we're good to go.
Right. Do a little doodlers. I love she draws, like I love the doodles that she does. I'm like, just do something like that. And like
Yeah.
I'll know that you spent 5 minutes doodling something that you thought I would like, and then you wrote a little message on the inside on a piece of paper. That's awesome. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Or just spend the day with me.
There's
all I need.
nothing worse than going to like kids' birthday parties and like people have all these gifts and they're like, read the card first. I'm like, we're still doing this? These are kids.
Yeah.
They don't need cards.
Right.
Unless there's something you're using it to facilitate like a gift card or something inside of there. Who gives a shit? It's just such an old thing to do. I'm like, don't fuck off with the card. Who's it from? Hey, thanks. You're welcome. Happy birthday. I got you. You know, like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Also, as of July 14th, 2024, stamps are 73 fucking cents.
Are they really?
Mailing yeah. I was like, what does stamps cost just now? And I'm like, yeah, fucking 73 fucking stamps.
Good God.
Or for 73 cents. First class forever stamps. So you buy them now. So look,
God,
if you
I remember
bought
when they
stamps
were
back
30.
when they were,
I remember when they were 34 cents. You know,
but if you bought like a ton of those, man, they've appreciated in value, Doug.
you might say they've gone up 100%.
You
And
could
that's
make
what I
some
call a good investment.
serious money, bro.
Right?
Yeah, but it's expensive to send that shit. Like, think about how much that costs to send all that out. Like, how
Just for
much
someone
money?
to open up and go, huh, and then throw
Right.
it away.
And I know there's people out there that are sending out like 100 of these things. Not just like, we'll send out like 10 to our big, like they're sending out stacks of them. And I'm just like, is this
As my own
is it
adult,
a showy thing? I don't know.
I have never sent out Christmas cards.
We sent out one
Always.
last year, and it was fun. I enjoyed the process, but I was like, this year we're like, we didn't do it again. You know?
I think it's a carryover from my youth where my mom would get really just bonkers about it. And when she wrote me in because she didn't know how to use a computer, so I had to type it out for her.
Oh,
And then
interesting.
she was so
you were a
particular
part
about
of
it. And she's like, I want this to print on both sides. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to do that with our dumbass printer. You know, like I remember like fighting with her viscerally about this. And she's like, I'd be typing. She's like, you spelled that wrong. You spelled that wrong. That's not right. And I'm like, I fucking hate you. Like, this is not a fun process. And at one point I go, you do it. You do it
Right.
then. If you're so goddamn good, you do it. Like, And what do you know? That carried over into adulthood in more ways than one. But I was just like, this sucks. Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares about this shit. And now that we have social media, it's completely redundant. And
I think that's
these are my kids, and this is what they're up to. Everybody fucking knows. Everybody already knows.
Right. So back in the day, in the 90s, whatever, like it made sense because you didn't have Facebooks and Instagrams and whatever. Like social media wasn't a thing. So sure, like you might not hear from these people, you know, all but once a year, or maybe you see them at a party, like a family party, and then come Christmas time, you're like, what is my cousin been up to? Like, so there was, I do understand that in the different era, it had its purpose, but now, you know, with the advent of Evites and with the, you know, with all the electronic mail, streamlined everything.
And
like
I want to say, like, the thought is kind. It's born of a place of kindness, and I appreciate that. I just the product itself that comes out of it, I'm like, I don't like this. It seems pointless because now what am I supposed to do with this?
I feel bad. I genuinely feel bad, like throwing it out too. Like that's the thing.
Anymore,
like I get it.
But I used to.
I get it. And I'm like, okay, so like we'll hold on to it. And not again, it's out of obligation. That person's never going to know that I held on to it or they threw it away. But for some reason in my reptile brain, I'm just like,
how fucked
they
up
sent
is that?
it. I got to hold on to it now.
That someone has beaten into you that you feel guilty for throwing something away. Like, oh, I got to keep it in case they show up and they're like, hey,
where's my card?
Did you get my card? And you're like, it's around here somewhere. And you're like, Beth, we threw it away. What do we do? And it turns into some stupid sitcom situation where you're like trying to figure out where the card is.
Well, and a couple years ago there was, and I don't know if it was because of COVID, no one was doing anything or what. I can't remember when it was, but there was a couple years ago where I remember the amount of cards went down for a year where I didn't get as many. And again, in that, this is how we're conditioned. It's like when you know, when you and I, when we used to have Facebook, you know, if you got less like happy birthdays or whatever than you got the previous, or it's that dopamine hit, right? Like you get less cards, you know, it's like, oh, people didn't think to send me a card. I wonder, did I do something to offend them? Did I do something wrong? And you're just like, this is why am I worried about this? But again, it's that like it's the conditioning from when you were a kid.
You're so sweet. I never once have been like, man, why didn't we get any cards? I'm always like, why the fuck are we getting cards? That's always my response.
Well, and look, after this,
why are you sending me this?
Maybe we won't get any more cards. Who knows? But yeah, like but I think that was my conditioning. It's just, I was like, cards equals you're popular.
I'm just like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to me? Which wild, like I said, it's wild when you get them from people you don't even know. You're like, okay, cool, thanks, I guess.
That's never. That is a mind blower to me. Like that never happened to me, which is incredible. I want to just start. What we should start doing is from Mind Gap. We should just start, like, every year we should pick out 10 random addresses from the phone book or whatever the current equivalent is. Let's find addresses and just start sending them out to people and saying, like, genuinely, like, here's what we've been up to this year.
A really what a great way to just to send out Mind Gap podcast. Like, just like, what is this? You know
what?
It's just like us in like Christmas sweaters by a fire.
100%. Yes.
When we're pretending to kiss each other under mistletoe, we're like, you know, just, you know.
Or the old Sears or JCPenney's one where it's like you and then me above you. Look, it's a black background. Yes. It's just your head and then my head looking to the right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. That would be really funny. They're just like, hey, that's how we spread awareness. That's how we do marketing. Once a year, we send it to 10 random people. Hey, here are our stats from this year. Here's what we did. Here's our most popular episode.
It's like a wrapped for.
We take our rap from Spotify and put all our stats on there.
We're back of the card.
And we're just like, hey, thank you for being here. They're like, what the fuck?
Why?
Happy holidays.
Do we know a Mind Gap podcast?
Happy holidays from Mind Gap podcast. Just like,
holy shit. I think, look,
that would be pretty funny.
Here's the thing. Put it on the list for what we're doing for the 500th. We'll do a photo shoot with Noah for that Christmas.
Oh my God.
And we'll send them out.
Well, let us know. What do you think about Christmas cards? And also, is there anything that you're like balls deep into that, you know, you just like, you have it head over heels for? Because I want to know. I don't understand it. And I've never felt that before. So what's it feel like?
I've never felt that before. What's it feel like to feel?
Since we're talking about old and outdated stuff, I just ran across this recently where San Francisco is going to pay $212 million to end reliance on 5 1/4-inch floppy disks. So apparently their Muni Metro also plans to ditch super slow loop cable communication systems. So like their rail system, their the municipal transportation agency runs on 5 1/4-inch floppy disks. It has since 1998.
So the pub, and I have not read or heard about this until just now. So their entire like public transportation infrastructure still runs on floppy disks.
So it's just installed in 1998. The system uses
Which
3
seems
floppy.
late, if I can say, to be using.
Also agree.
That
But
seems
hey,
odd.
I remember in college, I was using floppy disks to save Word documents and stuff for college. So
That's fair. That's
USBs were just coming out then for me, so they were still
fair.
around.
Oh my god! Do you remember when like buying a 1 gigabyte USB was like $60?
It was insane. We were
It
like,
was
oh my god,
insane.
how
A
much? It's like the
gig.
same thing with iPods. You're like, how much music can I put on here? Blew our minds.
Right.
So this system uses 3 floppy disks for loading DOS software that controls the system's central servers.
Wow.
Yeah. So when a train enters the subway, its onboard computer connects to the train control system to run the train in automatic mode, where the trains drive themselves while the operators supervise. When they exit the subway, they disconnect from the system and return to manual operation on the street. So,
Oh boy.
let's take
Okay,
that in
got
for
a lot of
second.
questions. Got a lot of questions on that one. So I'm surprised that it can even remotely connect like that. If this is the software we're using, I don't understand that at all.
Yeah. So in 2018, they were expected to move to a floppy disk free train system by 2028, but COVID kind of stopped that from happening. So now they're looking to do it relatively soon. It says
20
yeah.
years later.
Yeah. So the other problem with this too, they said the big problem, they said the system still works fine, but the risk of floppy disk data degradation and challenges in maintaining expertise in 1990s programming languages
Right.
have further encouraged them to seek updates. So
You got
I
people
was
coming
like,
in that just like, yeah.
hey, do you know
SQL, HTML?
Do you know
I
Q
write-
Basic?
Also, I do DOS.
Yeah. Do you know how to program in DOS? It's like, what the fuck? So
I
this
came from Google to do this.
this got me thinking, like,
Oh my
what
god, dude! It's got to be
other
hack proof,
things?
though, right?
what'd you say?
It's got to be hack proof.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm sure there's not too many hackers who are like, hey, man, you got those DOS skills so we can hack into the San Francisco municipal subway station. But I don't know what kind of shit they're susceptible to. Now, obviously not Y2K. It survived Y2K, so, it's good to go there.
It's amazing. All their computers.
So it got me thinking, like, what other shit in the world exists that runs on, like, ancient technology?
like all the missile silos that hold the nuclear warheads.
Right?
Yeah,
Or
they're
like
all still running on those
things that are working just
reel-to-reel.
fine. They're working
Yeah.
just fine. But if you pop the hood and looked in there, you're like, what? Like,
It's just a hamster on a wheel. Yeah.
all elevators are run by 12 gerbils on wheels. You know what I mean? And you're like, I'm sorry, what? They're like, yeah, man, if you come up here, I'm from Otis. And Otis is named after like the founder's favorite gerbil. And so like we just out of tradition, we put them in balls and they just run around their balls, and that generates enough centrifugal force to actually generate electricity. And so like when it's time for the elevator to move, like a light goes off and they know it's time to go, and they just sort of like go around a circle, and that makes the elevator move up and down. And you're like, huh?
So you have gerbils in every building?
They're like, yeah, you know that movie Speed? Not accurate. The opening sequence with the elevators? Not accurate. Because they totally took out the gerbils. And you're like, huh?
That's Hollywood just getting it wrong.
Yeah, man, that's Hollywood. They just, truth
Well,
to a
I mean-
stranger.
What was it? Was it Southwest or was it Spirit? What was it like?
Who had the raccoon?
No. That was Spirit. That's a whole nother ball of fucked up. But no, like didn't Southwest?
Did you know that the
just get,
raccoons
like,
are in
fined?
charge of boarding process?
Yeah, they're the ones running around the wheels in the back of yeah.
They
It
go up
makes
there and
the
they pull
plane
different
go.
wires to let you know when it's time to board.
Yeah. He's just looking at raccoons, got a pilot hat on, just saluting you. Here we go.
Air traffic control. Actually, raccoons.
Actually, raccoons.
Just like ghosts to squirrels. Yeah. Air traffic control. Raccoons.
It's 3 raccoons in a utility jacket. Yeah.
3 raccoons wearing like a green like gambler's hat. You know, the see-through thing. It's smoking a cigar, running the air traffic.
They work hard though.
But says they
Southwest or something would just got didn't they just get in trouble because their operating system was so that caused all those Southwest delays like a year ago or something, right? Yeah. They're I would say like things that are working well, that was not, it's working well until it doesn't work well and everything fucking breaks
because it can't handle
it can't handle the influx.
Yeah. Yeah. I just started thinking like, good God, just everyday things were like, oh man, that's so cool that, like for example, elevators or escalators, escalators, right? That's just, a bunch of young athletes that are trying to, make it to the Olympics in cycling. They just get on a bike,
right?
And they just continuously go, someone hits the switch. They're like, all right, I'm going to do it. And then they tap out and someone else comes in and it's just like a constant thing, they just get their endurance in, that's what it is.
Do you know stoplights, how they work?
How?
There's an intricate lever and pulley system that they're all attached to vials of water, and exactly. And then there's larger glass, like graduated cylinders on scales, and as the cars pull up underneath the concrete, it senses the weight and it starts to tip the scale, and the water goes in. And that changes the lights. It actually hits a mechanism that flips switches all the way up. It's like a Rube Goldberg machine inside there.
Wow.
And then they get to go. And then when the other, cars start to come up, they hit the scale and it starts to push the weight down and the weight goes the opposite way. It's very, very, very scientific.
You know how you've heard about toilet snakes? You know why?
Yeah.
Because those snakes, they fall out of the mechanism that actually makes your toilet flush.
So they're swimming in such a quick circle.
They're waiting
they're causing the whirlpool.
Pull up the plunger whenever it's time to poop.
They're pulling the plunger up. Yes, I got you. Okay. Yeah. I thought they were
sometimes
just
they get sucked in and then they come out in the toilet
and they're like,
they bite you in the
back
ass so they can get out.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you ever see one, just put them back in the tank.
Just take them, put them back in the tank and close the lid.
Call it a day. Call it a day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what it's all about. Like, what the fuck?
I
didn't know that. The fuck? Holy shit, man. Yeah. Ice cream machine at McDonald's. You know why it's been broken? Because
why?
Because the polar bear they keep in there to poop out the frozen ice cream, it's it has a short lifespan and there's only so many polar bears because of global warming.
Right. And it's really hard to find ones that are that small too.
Yeah.
You've got to find specific, exactly. It's like Shetland ponies. They're Shetland shit and Shetland polar bears.
Yeah, it's like people are like, hey, I want a cat with like a regular torso, but real short legs, because it's fun to create abominations in this world and then call them cute and then keep it going, It's the same thing. They take those polar bears and they're like, cool, let's chop its legs off or let's breed them down so they can fit in these machines and poop out the ice cream, And they just ship them around from, franchise to franchise and they don't last very long,
Yeah, that's why you can never find one that works. It's the damnedest thing.
Yeah,
and like you said, also global warming.
Global warming, also,
yeah,
big problem, big part of that. So, thanks ExxonMobil. You fucking cunts.
I genuinely cannot believe that they're still running on floppy disk, though. Like, I can't. When's the last time you handled a floppy disk?
It probably was a little bit after college, because obviously I hung on to that stuff, and I actually had a computer that had that.
That still had the disk drive? Yeah.
That had it. And then at some point, it stopped having that. Just like I have computers that don't have CD-ROMs anymore.
Sure.
Even though I still have video games that are on CD. I'm like, I can never play these. So I might as well throw them out, because.
Did you? Yeah. Because you used to have to buy the external floppy drives.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They had them that you could plug in case you just need to get these files off one more time.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. I also remember like all the notes in the computer lab saying save often, like because like there wasn't any autosave or anything like that.
No,
so it's like
absolutely
always
not,
save your stuff. double check that your disc is not corrupted.
Oh God, yeah. And then like always like sitting there and just like playing with that little metal slidey thing, and then getting yelled at because
you try to pull it out and it gets stuck in the drive.
It gets bent. Yep. No bueno. And they're like, "Were you playing with it?" Like, no.
Yeah, you slide it open. You're like, oh, they're like, don't do that. That's where the data is.
You're gonna ruin the data.
Don't ruin the data. You know.
Did you play? You were a huge gamer back then. Did you play games that were floppy disk based games?
I didn't play a ton of those. I played a couple, like I think Math Blaster. Was very similar to Butt Blaster. That one was on my dad's laptop. This is work laptop. They didn't check that stuff as much back then.
No. Yeah. There was no monitoring software back then.
I remember when AOL Internet came in on a floppy disk.
On the floppy? I remember the CDs. I don't remember the floppy.
There was a floppy. It came on a floppy. It came on the CD as well. I played more CD-ROM based games, than floppy disk games. So I remember playing Myst. There was an Indiana Jones game I played. At the time, we didn't have good enough like sound cards because it was like you could hear Indiana Jones talk. And I was like, oh my God, but we never got to hear it because we didn't have the sound blaster technology.
I remember in school I had to have been like 7th grade. I'm guessing like that seems to be about the age where it would have gone down. I think we're in junior high, if I'm remembering the hallways correctly. But like it was almost like trading cards. Like kids would trade, and I never got into this because I didn't have any to trade, but I remember kids would trade floppy disks of porn with each other. It would be like just probably the worst like pixelated shit, like just, but they would trade these and they would like, all right, I'm going to give you this one. You give me this. This one's got, this whatever on it. And this one is just all these.
This one's just an amorphous butt. That's all it is. There's no legs.
This one is an endless butt. What does that mean? Just plug it in and you'll see what it means.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions.
All right.
Make sure your parents are in bed.
That's right. Because you're going to enjoy this one. Let me tell you. It is.
And don't make sure you don't play with the metal tab because you don't want to get stuck in there. If your mom sees it, she's going to be real mad.
That's the only copy I have, dude.
It's the only
copy I have, man.
It's the only copy I have, man. Don't ruin it. I got this from my brother, okay? He's going to pound me.
Jesus Christ. And he got it from someone else, and I promise there's no virus on here. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Well, let us know what you think about, what technologies that running on. Do you know of, are you working in a place where there's ancient technology?
Sorry, hold on.
No.
Weird. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I do remember actually when I worked at the hotel, our servers were like a DOS system. And like when things got real, you had to go back to the server and be like, and it was like, and you're like, what are the commands that I put in to override? It was like wild.
And then you heard that
wild thing. Yeah, it was like
those big keys. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very much like every night you had to do something to turn the system over, and it was in the back on the DOS system, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is wild.
It's incredible. Every time I see, you just look at Captain America, Winter Soldier when they go down to that bunker, and it's just like the whole database, and it's reel to reel. And that's how a computer was run. Like it always blows my mind that we were able to get to where we are now, starting from there. The fact that we were able to figure out how to make computing happen with film, because that's all it's in the floppy disk is just a disk of film. Like it's bananas to me.
Bananas.
How we were able to figure that out. Luckily, it wasn't up to me because we would have never got there, folks. Never would have gotten there.
We would never would have gotten that endless butt. But let us know. What's some outdated technology that you still see today? Pew, pew, pew. Let us know down in those comments. But now it's time for one of our favorite games, which is Guess That Movie Audio from Guess Clip. Guess Who's Back? This one's going to be for Justin. And Justin, I've got a good feeling about tonight. I think you're gonna show these clips who's boss.
When I saw this on the topic guide, I got real excited. Yes. I'm not gonna lie. I saw the under game. It said guess the movie from the audio, and I'm like, oh, Doug has new ones. Yeah. Doug has new ones.
It's one of our favorites from last time.
He's so hot for me. We give him a whiff of my ass, he'll crawl right in it.
Gotta love that one.
The endless butt.
The endless bus. Just give him a whiff and just crawl right in. You know
He just crawls right in. He gets lost because there's no map.
All right, Justin, are you ready?
I'm so ready.
All right, what movie is this from?
I'm gonna cut your heart out with a spoon!
Oh shit! Wait. Oh, I just had the actor. God damn it! Do it again! Quick!
I'm gonna cut your heart out with a spoon!
That's Alan Rickman, right?
It is Alan Rickman.
That's Alan Rickman in. I want to say Die Hard. Is it Die Hard?
It's not Die Hard.
It's not Die Hard. No.
Because he doesn't have a German accent.
No, yeah. I want to cut. Oh my god! Why can't I think of it? I know the movie. Hold on.
Obviously, you
What
don't.
else is- Shut up, Doug. You're not helping. I'm gonna cut your heart out
Fucking
with a spoon.
asshole.
Oh my god! What else was? I'm blanking on every other. Was it Love Actually?
No. I mean, there's 8 movies.
That's Harry. That wasn't Harry Potter. Shut up, Doug.
You're like,
I'm gonna
when did
cut your
Snape say he's
Harry,
going to cut
I'm
their
gonna cut your heart out with a spoon.
lace
I
swing,
am-
fly, boom slang skin? Don't lie to me. I'll cut your heart out with a spoon.
Oh my god. Was it Kevin Costner, Robin Hood?
Yes.
Robin Hood?
Robin Hood,
Yes.
Prince of Thieves.
Get there, son.
Yes.
Woo. The thing was, like, I could picture him when he's he's got spittle coming out. He's super intense in that movie. I fucking loved that movie.
Dude, he
I
chewed up
haven't
the
seen it
scenery in that movie.
Ever. And that's why I
just
was like,
rewatched it the other day.
it was one of those where like that memory just like popped up, but I couldn't put the pin in it. But I'm like, I have that in the memory bank so
Man.
clearly.
The choice he made, he's like, I'm going to play this guy unhinged. And they're like, go for it.
Oh, and did he ever. He was like,
he is
okay.
off the rails, like
Yeah.
wild and fun. So
Does that,
well
I haven't
done.
seen it in a while. Does that movie hold up?
You know, I hate to say it, Kevin Costner's not great in that film.
He kind of just just drifts through the film, doesn't he? Like,
Yeah, he
no
feels
real
like
strong
he's-
choices.
He's just like the lines he delivers and the way he delivers them. I'm just like, I don't believe you, you know? and again, it's like so many other people in that film have English accents. I know that was the joke, you know,
Yeah.
forever. And he's just like, I am Robin of Locksley, you know?
I'm from Kansas.
Yeah. It's like, okay, it just doesn't seem to fit, you know? All right, good job. You ready for the next one?
I'm Robin of Locksley, Kansas, just south of Topeka.
Locksley, Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, ready
All right,
for
here we
this one.
go.
Let's go. Oh,
Guess
such a good.
this-
Thank you for that. That was
You're
awesome.
welcome. Guess this movie.
Get busy living or get busy dying. That's goddamn right.
Pacific Rim. Hands down.
Pacific
without
Rim,
without a doubt. Yeah. Pacific. That was on the floppy disk.
right.
That they were trading. Pacific Rim job. No, that's Shawshank.
That's goddamn right.
That is goddamn Shawshank Redemption. There is no mistaking that whatsoever.
Goddamn right. That beautiful music. I was going to do the other one with Tim Robbins saying it, but I'm like, nah, I got to do the Morgan Freeman one. Morgan Freeman one's
mean-
probably easier, but it's just a better
It's
line.
just the iconic. Yeah, that's the iconic. Yeah,
so great. Great part of that movie and everything.
absolutely.
Nice. All right, last one. I am very confident you're going to get this one.
Okay.
So here we go.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
In my club, I will splash the pot whenever the fuck I please. You want to talk about making choices in acting?
Yeah, right?
Good God, did Malkovich make a choice in Rounders?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah. My
That is
favorite part
Rounders.
is like when he's like, I'm paying you with your own money from the last time I stick it in you. Oh, he does this like really weird like sexual gyration. He's like, oh, oh, oh. I'm like, okay.
From the last time I stick it in you.
This is
John
very-
Turturro in that movie, it's one of my favorite turns. It's just something about his character that's like you want a friend like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's so good. Yeah, it's
So-
just he's got your back,
everyone.
but he's
Yeah.
also like, I can't give you this money.
I got
Because-
kids. I got alimony. Yeah.
He's like, I'll give you the truck. You want someone, that can back you up, get you out of trouble. I'm there, but I can't give you this money right now because
Dude, that movie came at the height of when everyone just wanted to play poker. Like that was, I remember watching that, and then
it's
we
like
would sit there.
2004.
Yeah. We would sit there in college and we would do all night poker tourneys. Like that's unique. But like we'd watch the movie and then fucking just stay up all night. And then at like 4 a.m., our friend Mike would just be like, we need cigarettes. Let's drive to Indiana. And we're like, that's probably not a good idea at this point. But we did it. And we would get a carton of cigarettes and come back and keep on playing.
Yeah, man. I got bit by that bug for a hot second, but then I was also like, I'm not a good liar. So not good at this. Yeah, but that was like right at the point where like, what was it? Chris Moneymaker won the World Series of Poker.
Yeah.
And like, that was just like, that just shot out.
Doyle Brunson and like all those old school guys. Negrani.
That movie made poker super sexy, just like Godfather made, the mafia look real slick.
100%.
I got dirtbags.
Yeah, I got obsessed with Worm's character. I was like, I want to be a mechanic. Like I'm not great at the game. Like I always got cleaned out every time we'd play, but I'm like, if I can learn how to like bottom deal and fucking stack the deck, this will be a very fun game. Never got good at it. I never had the discipline, but I loved the idea of being a mechanic.
The idea of being like, I can put whatever cards I want in anybody's hand is pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
And that's why you get your fucking shit kicked in if people find you.
Yeah, do it right. I could hear that. I could hear that snap. He was bottom dealing. I heard the telltale snap of the cards.
It's like, Jesus Christ, that's wild. Justin, congratulations, man! You nailed it.
Thank you, buddy. Oh, well these were like nostalgia pulls for me. I don't know. These hit well tonight.
These are classics, man. Classic films. Almost all of them from the 90s, except for Rounders. I think it was a little bit later, unless I'm wrong. You need to look that up real quick.
I was going to say, let's just look it up, right?
Rounders. 98. All these were 90s films.
Oh, goddamn. Yeah.
Didn't even realize that.
The other one, poker movie, if you haven't seen it, that I would recommend. It's not my recommendation for tonight, but I would recommend it. It's called Shade.
Shade.
Yes.
Shade.
It's another. It's not going to change your life, but if you just want like a fun, like crazy, heisty poker movie.
Jesus Christ, this looks like an early 2000s film. All right.
It absolutely is. Yeah. Just the cover of it, first and foremost, right?
I'm like, Jesus
But it's got
Christ.
Stallone, Jamie Foxx, Stuart Townsend, Gabriel Byrne, and then Melanie Griffith out of nowhere.
Yeah, right.
Andy Newton. Yeah. It's not the big pull quote from that we always would, when we were playing, we'd look at each other and we'd just go, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
All right, Justin, what do you got to recommend this week?
Doug, I am going to recommend your favorite movie, Natalie's favorite movie, The One, the Only Wicked.
God,
Beth and I saw it, like I said,
so much. She hates it so much. We were going through YouTube tonight, and there was like the popular song, clip, and she's like, Wicked. She fucking hates it.
Not all 8-year-olds can have taste. Is what I'm saying. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you are a fan of musicals, and even if you're so on them, I do think you will like this. If you hate musicals, you will not like this film. But I thought, and you and I talked about this, like we're both in agreement. Cinematography, out of sight. Set design, beautiful. Acting was fantastic. The singing was beautiful. If you're not into musicals, it can be a lot to take, but I thought it was a fantastic movie. And the more I learned about it, the more I became enamored with it. Just the fact that they sang live on set, and, like Cynthia Erivo did the whole Defying Gravity. She was on wires during that. And like everything just started compounding. I'm like, they built like a 5 million gallon, whatever fucking tank that they built the school on, where the boats were coming in so they could practically do that. It was just, it is like, it's big quintessential big movie making, and it's just really fucking cool to see. So I would say if you're into musicals, or if you're even kind of into musicals, I do think you'll like Wicked. So go check that out.
Fucking
Doug, what do you
nice.
got?
I don't really have anything specific this week because I saw Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
I
had a feeling you were going to see it, and I wanted to pick your brain on that one.
Wait till streaming.
Yeah. Oh,
I love Ridley Scott, but that one, Denzel Washington, amazing in there.
Okay.
Fucking love him. He's great in it. That guy knows how to intimidate. I fucking love
How'd
it.
Paul
He was
Mescal do?
Great. I like acting was fine. Like
Okay, no
story
one was a
was
stinker. Okay.
Story was like, okay, all right. I'm not feeling this one. I went and saw Moana 2. Nah.
Okay.
No. So I know by the time this comes out, the first couple episodes come out. Secret Level is coming out this week.
Ooh,
I'm very curious to see what the first 2 episodes are. So hopefully that's good. They released individual trailers for the Dungeons and Dragons one, for the Warhammer 40K one, for Armor Core, for Mega Man, for Concord, and for, what was it? Another one, I can't remember the name of it.
They've released individual trailers for all of them?
Like 20-second trailers for them.
Love it. Okay, I'm going to go check those out.
So
I'm very excited for this Mega Man one. I really want to see. I really want to see what they're going to do with this.
Really, I think my top 3 are probably Warhammer 40K, D&D, and Mega Man. Like those are like my top 3. So no idea what the release order is going to be, but it comes out December 10th. We're recording this on December 9th, so it comes out tomorrow. So I'm very much looking forward to checking that out and seeing what it's like. I went back and rewatched some Love, Death, and Robots. Some of my favorite episodes. I'm like, fuck, such a good show.
Yeah.
Such a good show. So those guys bringing that stuff to this video game universe, I'm like, bring it on, baby. So I'm recommending something I haven't seen yet, but I'll get back to you,
Please let me know.
Bada bing with a pipe. Gang, thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love you. As always, please, if you check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/mindgappodcast. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Help us get to 500 subs. We would love it if you could help us do that. Hit the link in the description for links to our Discord, for our Patreon, for our merch. And then check us out on all our social media at Mind Gap Podcast. And shout out, we had someone reach out to us on Instagram. Very kind, listened to our most recent episode. And they're like, hey, I just checked out your show on YouTube. Really liked it. I'm a big fan of Wicked and musicals and everything. And I really enjoyed your show. I was shocked to see that, I just assumed you had a bunch of views. Your show is great. And I hope you guys, get really big if that's what you want. And I was like, that was a really nice message. So thank you.
Cool.
Thank you for reaching out to us. Sometimes it feels like we're just, shouting out into a vacuum.
Which a lot of the times we are, which is fair.
Yeah. When people write us and it's like, hey, I really enjoyed the show, it means a lot. It helps us. It fuels us. It keeps us going. So thank you.
Genuinely made both of our weeks.
Because at first I was like, oh, what was the spammer being like? They mentioned views. I'm like, what? Do we get to pay you to get views? Because we get that shit all the time. But I was like, this is an actual genuine, nice person leaving us a comment. That was very
the amount of solicitations that anytime you put anything, again, we're so small time, but the amount of solicitations you get when you put anything out into the world like this, I can't even imagine the amount that the big dogs are getting. Like
the amount of distrust that we have for anything that comes our way. We're like,
any
bullshit.
Message that we meet it initially with fake. And then we look into it. We're like, oh, real person. Oh, yay.
How are you trying to fuck us? And it's like, oh, thank you for the nice comment.
Exactly. So yeah, genuinely made our week. That was awesome. So thank you.
Thank you for that. And Justin exists online as well.
That's right. On Instagram at Justin_Michael, spelled Mikel. It's the fun way of spelling it. While you're in the online realm, wherever you can find and listen to audio versions of podcasts, you can find us as well. So subscribe, rate, review, download, do all the things. But the big one is sharing. Let people know that we exist so that, another person might be like, hey, someone told me, to listen to you guys, and now I did, and I'm writing you a message, and I'm making you guys feel good because we love that. So thank you in advance for doing that. Let people know we exist. 2east8th.com, 2east8th on all social media, Love and Improv Film on Instagram, and loveandimprovfilm.com. I did that backwards, but it doesn't matter.
I don't fucking care, and neither does anyone else, because you, sir, are loved. And with that,
so are you.
I'll say, delay. So are you.
It was the internet.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad. With that, I'll say, hey, Justin, thank you.
Doug, thank you.
Viewers, listeners, thank you. And you all have a dandy fucking week.
Mind Gap Podcast.